Elon Musk's mission of the government was to advise them on how to reduce insufficient spending. Just like how we cut out Starbucks to save a few pennies, Elon Musk has advised the government on cutting insufficient spending. Just like trimming bloated programs that don't deliver results. But saving in fiat is a losing game because saving in fiat currencies don't beat the rate of inflation. Meanwhile, Trump wants to boost jobs and cut taxes so people have more income. It sounds good for the people, however, doing this means three things. Higher inflation in the economy because people will have more disposable income. The government will have less tax revenue to pay off their $31 trillion debt. They're already paying $1 trillion per year on interests alone, leading to central banks printing more money to buy government bonds, which pushes inflation higher because they have to keep funding the $31 trillion debt. In other words, if Trump cuts taxes but the government keeps spending the same, it just adds more debt, basically cancelling out the savings Elon Musk was trying to make. For example, if you earn $1,000 per month, but your expenses are $1,500, where did you get that extra $500? You borrow it, you go into debt, and that's exactly what the US government is doing every year. And if they cut their income, their tax revenues, without cutting their expenses, then the debt just gets worse. So to put this into a bigger perspective, imagine the government runs like a household. They earn, say, $4,000 in taxes every year, but they spend $6,000 on things like the military, healthcare, education, and interest on the national debt. That's already $2,000 yearly. The government has to borrow $2,000 every year. Now Trump comes in and says, let's cut taxes so people can keep more of their paychecks. So now the government earns only $3,500 instead of the original $4,000 per year. But if they keep spending $6,000, the gap just grows to $2,500. That extra debt has to be paid for somehow, usually by borrowing more or printing money, which leads to higher inflation. Tax cuts sounds great until you realize the government is still overspending. It's like you earning less while spending too much. That's why Elon Musk's push to cut wasteful spending gets undone, because more money is going out than coming in. It's a never-ending debt loop, because just like you maxing out a credit card, the government hits a wall. But instead of getting a second job like you would, they just print more money, and that's where inflation hits you. You pay the price through higher rent, food, and bills, all because saving in fiat is a losing game. Just look at the Roman Empire. They didn't have printing presses or digital money, but they still debased their currency. Their silver coin, denarius, used to be pure silver, but over time, the government started coin clipping. They shaved off tiny pieces of silver, melted it down, and made more coins from less silver. To the people, the coin looked the same, but over time, each one was worth less and less. Sounds familiar? Today, the US government doesn't clip coins. The Federal Reserve just prints trillions of dollars out of thin air. Same scam, different tools. Back then, Rome collapsed under inflation, debt, and distrust. Today, the US dollar is slowly collapsing for the same reasons. When you inflate the money supply, you steal value from the people holding it. That's why saving in fiat is a losing game, whether it's Roman silver or the modern dollars. The only way to escape these degenerate activities caused by governments is to save and get into debt for Bitcoin. Anything built under the fiat standard is a losing game because fiat punishes savers and rewards borrowers. But Bitcoin flips the game, rewarding savers and punishing debasement. When you save and get into debt for Bitcoin, you are front-running the collapse of fiat currencies. Some of you may be saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be getting into debt for Bitcoin." I'm not saying to go take a risky loan just to buy Bitcoin. Getting into debt for Bitcoin doesn't always mean bank loans. It means using smart debt like 0% APR credit, refinancing bad debt, and reallocating low-return assets. It's about shifting from weak money to hard money. It's not for everyone, and it's only smart if you truly understand Bitcoin and have a long-term conviction. The real stupidity is saving in fiat while it's silently losing value every year. And besides, people get into debt all the time for stupider reasons. They get a mortgage to buy a rental property, and they only pay interest on it. And the return on investment isn't even that good compared to Bitcoin. People get into debt to finance a depreciating asset such as a car. It's even worse if they financed a brand new car, because the value of the car just depreciates even faster for the first few years it's released. People get into debt to go to university, paying student loans on degrees they'll never use in the real world. Many jobs don't even require them to have a degree, yet they get a massive loan at age 18 and expect to know exactly what to do with that money. They go out partying and spend it on unnecessary things that keeps them poor. People get into debt for cars, college, clothes, and never think twice. But getting into debt for the best performing asset of the decade, which is Bitcoin, suddenly that's reckless? Let's be real. Bitcoin has outperformed everything, and if you truly understand it, using smart debt can be the most powerful move you'll ever make, because fiat punishes savers, Bitcoin rewards them. And if you want to know how to use debt at 0% interest rates, watch this video next to find out. If you learned something of value, I'd appreciate you leave a like and share this with a friend who may find this interesting. Do not save on a sinking ship, front run the collapse.